Welcome back. Our next session will be with our members, the growth of our members in BNI. And today I am joined by Cliff, who is a member in the Tshwane region. Cliff, please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do and where you're from.
So hi everyone, my name is Clifford Smith. I am a pre-owned car dealership. We sell vehicles between the prices of 100,000 up to 700,000 currently. And my main goal is to help people get from point A to point B successfully every single time.
And safely.
And safely, definitely.
Definitely. So please share with us your journey. What first attracted you to BNI?
So I'm going to be honest, the first time I was invited, I knew nothing that was going on. All I know is if someone gives you an opportunity, Richard Branson says, if someone gives you an opportunity, get there, make sure. If you don't know what to do, say yes and learn how to do it later. And when Andre, the guy that invited me the first time, and I got to the meeting, the actual reason I joined before the meeting almost, because it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and the first guy that greeted me was so excited just to be there. I thought, if he is this excited to be at a place 7 o'clock in the morning, something must be working here. And that's how I got started. The meeting obviously was amazing, and I actually tried to boost them to get me to the interview faster because I was afraid someone was going to take my seat because of the amazing opportunity that BNI is.
Awesome. So in your industry, you obviously have different relationships with different people. What is that one relationship in BNI that really stands out for you?
So it's quite a left field one. Being from the automotive industry, you'd think it'd be a panel beater or a mechanic or someone like that. It is actually, my power team is with Sulet Nodia. She is a debt counselor.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of synergy between me and a debt counselor, because if I do finance and someone gets declined, I send them to Sulet. Sulet sorts out their name. It's almost like a Ferris wheel where we put them on at the bottom. They go through a 2-3 year process. And then as soon as their name is cleared, Sulet sends them back my way. And other clients that come off of debt review either want to buy a house or a car, and she sends them my way. So that's my perfect power team.
Now that is definitely something I didn't think about. A
Yeah.
debt collector and a car salesman. I never put those two together, but talking about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, a debt counselor actually.
A debt counselor, yes.
Yes, but close enough.
Close enough. What impact has BNI had on your business as a business owner and the way you approach dealing with clients, dealing with suppliers, all those things? What impact has that made?
So BNI has made a massive impact in my business. Something that I think a lot of people forget about is the lifelong learning in BNI. And that has been something that has completely transformed my business, the way I operate, doing personal development, massive, a lot of personal development. And that would have never happened if it wasn't for BNI. I mean, myself and Neil, who will also be doing a video a bit later on, we come together once a week on a Wednesday to do an accountability session on our goals. And that would have never happened if it wasn't for BNI.
Oh, that is awesome. The things that you talked about, lifelong learning, and we've got BNI Business Builder, which is our app where we do the self-development, and a lot of those things we can implement in our own business. Have you tried that, and has that worked for your people in your business?
100%. So another thing that I also learned out of BNI was, if you don't use your car as your university, what are you going to use as your university? So it's awesome just to put a podcast on through the Bluetooth radio and get learning whilst you drive. I mean, it adds no value to listen to the radio these days, especially it being negative most of the times.
Going on about the self-development and the education part of it, is there a podcast or a series that you've done that stood out for you that is now engraved in you that you continue living out throughout your BNI journey?
Well, not really a podcast. There's a lot of things that made a difference, but a book that we discussed at our core meetings was the 4 disciplines of execution, the 4 principles of execution. Yes, from Stephen Covey and Sean Covey. That has changed the way I do business completely. That's actually where my journey to personal development started, was because of that one book, and it just took off from there, which I never would have been exposed to if it wasn't for BNI.
That is awesome. The little small things that we change in our business, which is achievable goals.
Definitely.
And definitely something that we can live through. And now my next question, I can now see why you enjoy the role as secretary, because it's the small little things that makes an impact. What else in the secretary role do you enjoy most that you keep on doing and keep on saying, yes, I'll be that?
Well, so I'm the secretary. I'm part of the closing team as well. as well as the follow-up team. So the main thing that I would say out of the secretary role that I enjoy the most is getting new members in, showing them the opportunity, asking them the right questions to guide them towards what BNI can do for them, showing them what BNI has done for me, telling my story. That's the main thing that I enjoy out of the secretary role, because I am fortunate to be the second last person to speak when I talk about the fees and those type of things.
Yes.
And that gives me the opportunity to tell my story.
So you talk about when you have that, you have a story to tell. It's not just reading stats or reading figures off a slide. And that, I believe, makes a difference. Even if you're selling a car, the benefits of it always outweighs the cost. Now, you're speaking about the follow-up team and the conversion team and the closing team. What are some of the weirdest questions that you've received that you thought, I've never thought about it like that?
Weirdest questions in terms of a potential
member, yes.
I've had a few. I think if I had to probably say the weirdest question that I've ever had is someone from quite a far region away. I think they were like 300 kilometers away from Pretoria. They were visiting the site.
Oh, wow.
Asked me if they could drive through every week to a chapter here, so they can visit again and again without becoming a member. And I told them it would be much better advice to just join that site, because I promise you that after the first time that you drive 300 kilometers, you're gonna not think it's
fun anymore.
It's fun anymore.
Definitely.
Because BNI is so big, you can virtually join most regions.
What also nice about that, if you join a chapter in your local area, you can still visit other chapters, because there's a lot of virtual chapters, there's a lot of hybrid chapters, so the opportunities are still there. But that must be a huge commitment to be willing to travel 300 kilometers every week to join a meeting.
Well, I took it as a massive compliment to our team, if someone was willing to do that. But yeah, that was quite a weird one. But they did join. They did join in the region.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. Well done. Well done. That is quite an accomplishment. What is the one thing or a couple of tips that you will give a new member when they join BNI?
If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. BNI is a tool. In my head, BNI is a tool. Everything is there. It works if you work the system. And probably the second thing is, in your 30 seconds, specific is terrific. If you ask specific, you'll get specific people. You'll get that pie in the sky referral if you ask for them. If you ask general questions, people are going to forget.
Definitely. How long have you been in BNI now?
2 years, a little bit more than 2 years. I joined in September 2023.
Okay, so you've quite a journey. And out of that, what is your vision going forward in your BNI journey?
My vision going forward in my BNI journey is growth. Growth not just in terms of business, because that's definitely happening. I am very, very blessed out of BNI referrals. To give you an example, car dealership, so we're on cars.co.za. Cars.co.za is 18,500 Rand a month. My membership was 11,000 Rand for the year. I'm making more money currently out of BNI every single month than out of cars.co.za. But personal growth, definitely personal growth, and being able to put that back into my team at the dealership as well. Getting the core values in BNI into my business, definitely. That's the plan.
Building according to what you've learned in BNI, that is absolutely amazing. What is the one thing or the one referral, the one connection that stands out for you in your BNI journey?
So the one connection is actually someone that's got nothing to do with the car industry. It's Neil Opperman from Universal Paints. So what happened is I joined the September 2023. I moved my dealership that May of the same year. December, when I think it was the 11th of December, it was our last meeting. The day before that, Metro rocked up to the dealership where I was renting, and they said, listen, you've got 5 days to get out, because the guy that was renting it to us was encroaching on government property. 2/3 of that dealership was government property. And before that, another dealership was there for 20 years. Obviously, I didn't know. The last meeting, I used the opportunity to ask, listen, I need a space that can fit 70 vehicles, and I need it quite urgently. And knowing that there aren't spaces available, because to find that place that I got in May, I searched about 6 years. It was one meeting, we can say we probably drank coffee that Friday afternoon with Neil, and he got me a place that opened up from his uncle before that it actually opened up. I got a better premises. I am closer to the highway, which is great for walk-ins, and I save 7,500 Rand a month.
That is absolutely incredible. Well, there you heard from Cliff, a brand, well, not new member, but new in his journey, which really has a great story to share. Thank you very much, and please remember to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you soon.